Okay, perfect. So welcome to this month's office hours. Like I said, my name's Amanda. I'm going to be hosting today. And just as a reminder for BHA Technology office hours, we come together once a month to give updates and kind of reminders about certain things that are BHA technology related. So here's our agenda for today. First, we're going to have a guest speaker talk about a new survey. We're going to do some technology updates regarding referrals pilot, the DACOD's user manual, some TMS trainings, and then ongoing provider research. At the end, we will also pause to see if there's any questions or if anybody has anything that they want to talk about. So that being said, I'm gonna hand it over to our guest speaker, Gwen, to talk about this first topic.
Great. Amanda, can you advance the slides for me? Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. I am here to talk with you about a form that has been used for terminated certifications through BHA's Civil Certification Program. The Civil Certification Program is where providers can report in anytime a civil certification or involuntary civil certification is terminated, transferred, or allowed to expire. This is something that's been in existence on the BHA website for a couple of years now, but the recent change to it is that we've moved it from Google Forms into a different platform called Qualtrics. And we made that decision for a number of different reasons, but primarily because it will be easier for providers to reach the form because it's more likely to be whitelisted. Google Forms are often blocked by network security and at many provider sites. And so some people have had, or some providers have had difficulties in reporting their terminated certifications using Google Forms. So we felt like that was a very positive change. The other thing the Qualtrics platform gives to us is that it will allow BHA better access to the data that we collect on involuntary civil certifications throughout our state. The form itself does not have any changed questions. The questions look pretty identical to what you found in Google Forms before, so it's really just a change in platform. You may have noticed I popped into chat the web page for involuntary mental health resources for providers. On that page, you will find available training dates for the civil certifications programs and a lot more information about emergency department assistance itself. And I'm also going to pop in the link to the new Qualtrics survey itself, or that section of the website here, so that you can check it out. Does anyone have any questions for me about terminated certifications reporting or this new survey itself?
So you're speaking to the mental health ones, not the SUD involuntary commitments, correct?
So substance use disorder and involuntary emergency commitments and involuntary commitments are something different, yes. So this is an involuntary civil certification, and those can be, usually that happens after an emergency 72-hour hold.
Yeah, so it's after an M1 or whatever. Okay.
It's based on mental health, yep. It's not substance use disorder.
Okay, just, I wanted to verify, I thought so. Thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions about this form or what it's for?
Is there some overlap on the Google form versus this form? Because is the link brand new on the website?
There isn't overlap. The Google form is no longer available.
Okay.
And yeah, this Qualtrics form has all the same questions. It's just a different, hosted in a different platform.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you, Gwen. We will also, I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but we will share out these slides as well afterwards, and we usually provide a follow-up email recap as well, so individuals will be able to access these slides and any of the associated links. So, okay. Perfect. Well, we will move right along. So some technology updates. I'm going to hand it off to Alex to talk about these.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alex Mayo. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm the product manager of Client Care Search, which many of you may be familiar with. It's a newer technology from BHA. It's quick context if you're not familiar. It's a system where inpatient and residential behavioral health providers track their bed availability and where care navigators can find information for client placement. This is based off of Colorado Revised Statute 2760-104.5. The reason I'm bringing this up again today is we've recently launched a pilot. So utilizing bed availability information, we wanted to enable or test enabling referrals within that system. So from September 3rd through the 13th, you may have seen some changes to the screen, and you had the ability to refer to a select group of pilot participants that opted into participating. So that pilot is ending this Friday, and just sharing some early insights from that test. That right now, we had everything organized at a facility level, and we were learning that there's a lot of relevance and rich data that informs care navigation at the unit or program level. So that was a good learning we had. We've also gotten really good feedback on what type of data and what type of information is important when sending and reviewing referrals. So we had our current list, and then we've learned, what could be added to make this more relevant and useful when evaluating a referral. And finally, we are learning who else in the behavioral health ecosystem should have access to this tool to really bring proper sources of referrals into the system. Right now, as you know, we have somewhat limited access to Client Care Search, so we're trying to be strategic on how we expand that access. And as you get the slides, this nice blue box in the bottom left has a lot of helpful links and resources for you if you're interested in learning more.
Great. Thanks so much, Alex. If anyone has questions about this, feel free to drop them in the chat as well, but we will move right along. So some exciting news, the DACODS user manual has been updated and it is posted on the website. The changes are outlined in yellow throughout the document, and I just have listed here some of the major changes, so feel free to take a look at those if this does apply to you. I know last time we had office hours, some individuals had asked about DACODS and if they needed to be reporting or not. Obviously, it depends on the type of agency or facility that you are, but I just wanted to mention here that SAMHSA requires that BHA collect and report on the data elements in DACODS as a requirement of funding. BHA requires completion of DACODS in compliance with SAMHSA federal guidelines. So I know earlier this year there were some changes in regards to like the provider rules, which did not necessarily require reporting in DACODS for providers. However, the piece of it that is still true is that it is tied to SAMHSA funding. So I just wanted to mention that here. And if anyone has questions about that, definitely happy to chat or answer those. And then some more updates in terms of trainings. I know what feels like for the last year, we have been saying, oh, we're going to get a lot of on-demand videos recorded so that you all can access training. So I am excited to say that we have completed a good portion of trainings that are specific to TMS. These are located on BHA's website under the For Providers page. We added 2 new ones in the last week for DRS discharge and DRS directory. So that's super exciting. So the image over here on the right are all of the videos that we have so far. There's a couple left for DACODs. I think there's only 1 or 2 that we need to finish, and then more will be coming soon. So we have a video for central registry if your facility has to use that. And then we're also going to be doing CCAR videos as well. We are still offering one-on-one trainings. So obviously, if you would rather have some one-on-one guidance, feel free to reach out to us and we can set up a meeting or training one-on-one at any point as well. And then I'm going to pass this off to Jumana regarding OwnPath. And then, yeah, pass it off to her if she is here.
Yep. Thanks, Amanda. Hi, everyone. I'm Jumana. I'm the product manager for OwnPath Care Directory, and I wanted to share some updates with you all around this site. So I'm going to be dropping a link to OwnPath. I think most of you might be familiar with it, but essentially it's a care directory, a list of behavioral health providers. And so some of our priorities right now are to actually add more providers to this site. But there's a few new features I wanted to share with you. The first being that there's going to be some new filter options available on the site to allow clients and people who are searching for care to search for more specific care options. So specifically, these new filters are related to DUI treatment and education, opioid use treatment, and then withdrawal management. And so this will allow people who are searching on OwnPath for care to filter more specifically for these providers. And so these are not going to be available yet, but they will be available in the next week or two. So look out for those. And then the next update I wanted to share is regarding the list of providers available on OwnPath. So again, like I mentioned, we're working on expanding the provider list to those providers that are not licensed by the BHA. And so those new providers are going to be added within the next week or two. And we're going to be continuously expanding the providers that are available there. So after these new updates, what you can expect from us in the future is we're going to be creating more granularity for filter options on OwnPath. So you're going to be able to search for more specific services that are offered, as well as, like I mentioned, more non-BHA regulated providers, including Medicaid providers, because we do want to prioritize those populations. And that's it for me. So I'll pass it back to you.
Jumana. One question that had come through in the chat earlier was, it sounds like there's a couple locations listed for their site on OwnPath, but they actually have more locations that need to be listed. So how should they get in contact to be able to adjust this on OwnPath?
Yeah, I can drop my email and our team email. Feel free to reach out through that and we can communicate there. So I'll drop them in the chat.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, if you notice maybe info in OwnPath for you needs to be updated or fixed, feel free to reach out to Jumana for that. Awesome. Well, I'm super excited about the new filters coming. Okay. I'm going to move on and pass it off to Chao Pu to talk about the research participant pool.
Hello, friends. Last month, we launched the BHA Research Participant Pool. And for those of you who are in attendance again, thank you for your patience as I run through this. But for those of you who are seeing this for the first time, we're very excited about setting up this research participant pool as a way to be regularly and frequently engaging with you to get feedback from you both frequently and as early as possible before decisions are made. This form, it just takes about 2 to 5 minutes to fill out, but by joining, you are essentially agreeing to receive notifications of upcoming research. You are not committing to participate, just receiving notifications. And of course, you can always choose to be deleted from this pool at any time by letting us know. We really do encourage you, if you have the time and availability, to participate in research with us, because it's the best way for you to help shape the future of the services that you'll be using. Can we go to the next slide? So current research efforts, you might have already heard of the admin burden reduction that we are actively trying to advance. Last time we asked for, if you are a vendor, to reach out, because we would love to hear from you. I think we only got one vendor, and that's probably because at this meeting there aren't many vendors. But if you are a provider and you feel comfortable introducing us to your vendor contact, we would be very, very grateful. So if you are able to introduce us, please email us and make that introduction, and then we would love to be able to speak to your vendor. Thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you. Does anybody have questions about research stuff, related things? Okay. There was one other question, Jumana, if you're still here, that had come through in the chat. Any movement on the youth service types being a searchable option in OwnPath?
Yeah, so that's something that we are still working on prioritizing. We have a lot of different provider groups that we are trying to surface, and this happens to be one of them. Again, at this point, I don't know exactly when they will be available, but I will say that we are aware of this and have not forgotten.
Thank you, Jumana. Can you provide the link to the new DACODS user manual in chat? Yes, absolutely. I can should be able to pull that up here, and I can drop it in the chat. Any other questions or anything that anybody wants to talk about? This is kind of now that we've ended with all of our slides and the things we had on our radar, I'd love to open up the floor. And I know last time, I feel like I asked this question last time, and I know obviously there's a lot of people that come to this office hours meeting, so sometimes it's never easy to or hard to speak up in front of a bunch of other people that you don't know. But obviously we want to make this office hours worthwhile to all of you. So if there is anything that you would like to see more of in these monthly office hours or something that we are missing, please let us know. You can email it to us if you don't want to speak up, or you can put it in the chat or anything like that, but we definitely want to make this worthwhile to everybody. So what email can we provide to our EHR vendor? So you can provide the CDHS BHA provider support email, which Alex will drop into the chat. Yes, so another question came through about what CCAR is and how we get access and who needs to use it, etc. So actually, I might have Sharon, if she is willing to speak to some of this, because she knows, she's a lot more familiar with CCAR.
I'm here. So what was the question? Can you repeat?
So at a very base level, can you do a little explanation of what CCAR is and how individuals would get access and who needs to use it.
Oh, got it. Okay. Everybody who wants to come play in CCAR data, you just let me know. But those folks that need to submit CCAR data, which is a mental health sort of demographic and screening tool that mental health designated providers submit to BHA as well as CMHCs. So if you are licensed or endorsed with BHA to submit those services, mental health services, you would also submit CCAR data. If you're not sure, you can always contact us at the provider support inbox, and we can check your ladder's information to see how you are licensed. So typically, if you do SUD services, you won't be doing a CCAR as well unless you happen to have the Circle program or some other co-occurring crossover programs like that. And usually your licensing person that you've worked with to get licensed with BHA usually will let you know if you need to submit day codes and or CCAR data, but you can always reach out to us and we could check for you. Chances are, if you're not sure, you probably do SUD services only, but we can look into all of those. And if you want access, again, it's the provider support inbox. You can get everything from the provider support inbox.
That is true. There are some forms. So if you need access to CCAR or DACODS, which is in TMS, we have forms on our website on the For Providers page. There is a data system access request form and a statement of compliance form. So every person that needs access to either of these systems should fill out these forms, and then they can submit them to us via email, and we can kind of do the onboarding process there as well. And CCAR, the state loves to use acronyms. They drive me nuts, but CCAR stands for Colorado Client Assessment Record, in case anybody was wondering. Okay, any other questions? All the questions that have come in so far have been great, so. Okay, well, that is all that we officially have for today. I'll put a plug in. So our next office hours will be October 9th, November 13th, and December 11th. That's all we have for the rest of the year. And then obviously we'll be planning the next ones. Here is the email. And then as always, our website has more information as well. Yes, we can definitely do an update on BHC and E, Elizabeth. I can put that in our notes for next time. Okay, well, that concludes office hours for today. I will stick around. We will stick around for a little bit longer in case anybody needed to ask questions individually. Thanks so much for coming, and we'll see you next month.